We can't be having this. This is an issue, and we don't want this to continue. What's going on, FMFAM? Hey, first off, I want to say thank you to all the new members that have joined the channel, all the new subscribers that I have recently gained, everybody who's liked the videos, who shared the videos, who commented on the videos. I thank each and every one of y'all. Okay, y'all see the title, and this is the white elephant in the room, if you will, because I put out a short video the other day that's blowing up over some preventative maintenance stuff. Now, whether it was because they thought I didn't know this tip, I called out a buddy of mine, Online Mechanic Tips, that I learned that tip from him, meaning I learned the video from him, learned to do the video from him, came up with the idea from him, okay? And I shouted him out. That was a grab for people to go to his channel and check him out. Well, I got a lot of backlash. The fluid looked clean. People not understanding preventative maintenance. So in this video, we're gonna talk preventative maintenance and what the purpose of it is. But first, I need y'all to like the video, right? Oh no, it's like right here. Subscribe, okay? Join button also if you want some special perks. And if you're seeing an ad on this and you don't want to see ads, I release videos early to members only without any ads before I monetize on the videos. So please hit the join button down below, and well, let's get right into the video. So some of y'all don't know that I had a big job going on the past couple days. Okay, I'm jumping ahead to the future a little bit. I recorded me doing this. I made videos on me doing this. I just haven't edited them. But I do want to address this situation. So as y'all see shiny, right? Shiny engine parts. This thing got a brand new engine because of lack of maintenance. Lack of maintenance caused this engine to fail, okay? But not only do we have the most simple preventative maintenance item or service, which would be an oil change, we have various other preventative maintenance items on a vehicle that is expected to be performed at certain intervals, depending on time and mileage and stuff like that. Okay, we got brake fluid that is recommended every so often, right? I say 15,000 miles or once a year, whatever comes first. Okay, with that being said, why once a year? Why do we put time on something? Well, if y'all don't know, brake fluid is hygroscopic. Hygroscopic meaning it absorbs moisture. Okay, moisture inside your brake system is very, very bad. Okay, what happens with air? Air is not compressible. I'm sorry. Air is compressible. Fluid is not, okay? So if something is compressible, then we're not going to create adequate pressure to be able to stop. Moisture. What does moisture do? It creates fluid. Or moisture is fluid, right? So therefore, in a brake system, what's going to happen? You're going to get boiling, you're going to get air pockets, and you're going to get rust, and parts are going to fail. So that's why we recommend brake flushes. Brake flushes are actually pretty freaking important. So if they recommend a brake flush and you haven't done it in the past year, I advise you do it. Now, why is that important? That's important because you don't want premature brake failure. Okay, that's not going to do anything to your brake pads. Of course, brake pads are preventative maintenance as well, because if you go too low and you're unable to stop, well then of course, yeah, we have an issue there. But we have internal brake system components that will fail also if you don't take care of this brake fluid. It's not just a dealership money grab. No, it's actually something that needs to be done to your vehicle. If your brake fluid is looking black, that's a no-no, okay? And that goes for clutch fluid as well. Now we have air filters. Okay, imagine wearing a dirty mask all day. You can't breathe, right? The engine is a big old vacuum pump. Okay, so it needs to breathe clean air. It needs to be able to breathe it easy. So having a dirty, clogged air filter is going to cause a lot of issues. Fuel mileage, you know, then the filter starts breaking down. You get stuff in your mass airflow. Now you have drivability issues. So that air filter is pretty important as well. Moving right along to, let's say, wipers. Okay, wipers, preventative maintenance. What are we preventing? Crashing, right? Crashing while raining. We want to be able to see. We want to be able to see down the road what's in front of us. The cooling system. Why is a coolant flush so important? Well, if you would know something, okay, I know there's a bunch of mechanics on here, but there's a bunch that aren't. What happens to coolant as it gets heat cycled so often, as it starts to age? It becomes acidic. What happens to plastic during this acidity process? The process of acidity. What happens when the coolant starts wearing? It starts breaking down your plastic components. We have plastic components everywhere throughout the cooling system. Right there, you see it, a radiator. The radiator tank is all plastic. I'll show you on this engine right here. This water valve, it is plastic. Okay, plastic components. They wear down, they break down. So we have water hoses, heater hoses that are plastic as well, couplers. So we don't want these breaking down. We don't want them becoming brittle and cracking and doing all that good stuff, because then we end up with coolant leaks. And then if you don't catch it quick enough, guess what's gonna happen? Overheat, head gasket. Now you're putting an engine in your vehicle for another reason aside from the oil change. Now I'm gonna jump in right quick and say preventative maintenance is to prevent catastrophic failures before they happen. Just because a fluid looks clean doesn't mean that the additives in it aren't breaking down. That's the whole point. If there's an issue, if the fluid is already burnt, if the fluid has already got metal flakes in it, then we already have an issue. We do not want issues within the systems. Why? Because then that's gonna show signs of failure. We don't want signs of failure. Okay. This dry belt right here, it looks fine, right? Looks fine. But can you tell me if it's stretched? If it's been on the vehicle for a few years, who's to say that this thing hasn't stretched out, that it's lost its integrity? Sometimes they start to delaminate, okay? Sometimes they start to crack. Sometimes they start to get weathered. This one appears to be okay, but I can guarantee you it's never been changed. We recommend those 2 years or every 30,000 miles. That's a preventative maintenance item. Y'all saw one where the dry belt came apart, flew off the vehicle, and guess what happened to that vehicle? It overheated because it was dry belt driven, serpentine belt driven. Customer kept driving, and guess what happened? They needed a new engine. Another one we got is transmission services. That's actually one thing that people fail to do on their CVTs, and that's why CVTs go out so frequently, is people don't keep up with their CVT service. Okay, we don't want this thing getting hot. We don't want the fluid breaking down. Once the fluid breaks down and smells burnt, you already have an issue within your CVT. That goes for any transmission. You drain a transmission with regular ATF fluid, right? You want that thing to drain red. You don't want it to be brown or black. If it's brown or black, that means the fluid's already burnt and it's not doing its job. So you want to catch it before it stops doing its job. That's the whole point of preventative maintenance. As I said, everything we do on these vehicles is preventative maintenance to prevent a catastrophic failure, prevent you from having to replace expensive components. They say it is expensive to maintain, but it's even more expensive to replace an engine, to replace a transmission, to replace a brake system. And with more vehicles being picky on using OEM parts are expensive. You don't want to pay full pop for an engine. You don't want to pay full pop for a transmission. So just take care of y'all's vehicles. It's an expensive purchase that you need to take care of. So right here, I am going to show y'all just how important this is. And this is the engine that I just replaced. So I'm gonna rip off this valve cover and expose to y'all exactly what happens when you don't change your oil. What does it mean by sludge? Now this one isn't too bad. I have seen worse, but definitely, look at that. That's not good. That is not good. Okay. Look at the varnish on that. So you think those cams were getting how do you call it? Lubricated? No. Hell no, that one wasn't. That lobe was still. That one wasn't. That lobe was still. You know, just look at all these. Okay, this is why preventative maintenance is so important, y'all. Like, what about all the small oil galleys for your timing components? Y'all ever think of that? So if y'all want to avoid this, start doing your oil changes on time. Okay, we can't be having this. This is an issue, and we don't want this to continue. So, wow. Just look at that. This is good. No, it's not. This is nice. No, it's not. Like I said, I have seen worse, but this engine started knocking, and it did have oil pressure codes. So let's avoid this, yeah? Now there are other preventative maintenance items that don't pertain to this vehicle. I was just using this vehicle as an example. So hopefully y'all learned something today. And if not, well, stick around, because there might be something you learn on this channel. If you can, like the video, comment down below, subscribe, join the FMFAM. Check these videos out right here. Subscribe right there. Merch, deuce. So do me a favor, don't treat me like a neighbor. Don't need the different flavors of your problems just to savor. I've got my own issues, I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you, just go get your own tissue.